Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Things move fast now. It seems like Mr. Boris Johnson's departure, forced departure, which, as I stated before, I don't think is because he had some drinks and some ladies of the night during the pandemic when everybody was telling, hey guys, you should distance yourselves from other persons and blah blah blah. And here they social distancing, but they were having a party. I don't think that's the more main thing. Yeah, even that's awful, and they show who they are. I think that's something else that made his party kick him out. I think it was the economic interests that are hurt in Great Britain, and I think the standard of living might be a problem with high inflation and the war in Ukraine. So we'll find out with time. But as of now, I have an article here, very interesting, which has to do with the commander-in-chief of Ukrainian forces, who meets the British counterpart to discuss further operations. This Ukrainska Pravda reported on July 7th. So, Commander-in-Chief of Ukrainian Armed Forces meets British Commander-in-Chief of British Armed Forces counterpart to discuss future operations. What do you mean future? Are you together when the Russians, the officials, said that this is actually a NATO-ran enterprise using Ukraine as a proxy to get Russia, you were considered, cuckoo, or you were dismissed and called all kind of, Putin apologist, Putin supporter, this and that, even worse than that, if you dare to have the courage to say the obvious. And here, what for future operations between the British and the Ukrainian forces regarding what? Russia? I know that Great Britain was actually at war with Russia, and there's two that allied militarily and they fight Russia. Were you aware of that? I mean, we figured that out, but it was not like this, right in your face, in our faces, actually. Let's read and see what are these guys doing. So, Admiral Tani Radakin, Chief of Defense Staff of Great Britain, met in Ukraine with Valery Zaluzhny, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, to discuss the details of future operations. Great. And then quote from Zelensky. I'm quoting, obviously. We had a productive meeting to discuss in detail plans for future operations. As military people, we understand the situation as it is and give our all to the fight for freedom. What do you mean, as military people, we understand the situation? I thought that he was not a military person, or now he is. It's like, remember now, I have to say this, but remember George Washington, the general of the colonies, the American colonies that fought the Brits for the independence war. He was not a general per se. He was a surveyor and other stuff, right? As far as I remember, and others they were just named boom general. I remember Andrew Jackson, my favorite U.S. president, actually. Oh my God! Don't say that. Yes, he was not. He was not a. You were just appointed as you're here. You're there, general. Okay, well, in order now to be a general and look, for instance, in the same time, let's look at Napoleon. Napoleon became what he became, the youngest general in the French army, whatever. But he started from one caporal and blah 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 blah. He went up. None of those two guys did that, as far as I remember. But I don't remember them going to any military academy. Whereas, what's his name? Napoleon, I think he did something. So, it's a different kind of the same. Since when Zelensky is a military person? He's the commander in chief, but it's like to say Biden is the, the military person. Really? Since when? Then I'm a military person too, right? Being here talking to you. Anyway, so All right, we go here. Details. Radakin. I don't know. Radakin is if Radakin is the British guy or is the Ukrainian guy. Radakin. You can try to make it sound Anglo-Saxon, but Radakin. Okay, that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Noted that it was a great honor to visit Kiev and meet with my Ukrainian colleague General Zalushny, adding that he was full of admiration for the armed forces of Ukraine, their courage, resilience, and ingenuity in resisting Russia's illegal and barbaric aggression. End quote. Quote from Radakin. My 48-hour visit allowed me to better understand the operation outlook and discuss how the UK can continue to support Ukraine and how we can coordinate other international partners and allies in helping the armed forces of Ukraine in the coming weeks and months. Well, let's see what's happening. See what's happening. It seems like the military was informed earlier that Johnson will be kicked out, that even Johnson, but nevertheless, we'll see. I do not think that these guys are just going to jump headfirst into Ukraine now, like all the way. You know, that's I don't think so. So, but that's saying you either get, you go all the way in or you don't go at all. That's a little joke that it was a little mouse and the mouse runs, a cat follows the mouse sees a piece of shit, jumps in it, but the tail remains outside. The cat comes, figures out where the uh, mouse is, gets the tail, gets the mouse, eats the mouse. And now the conclusion is this: the morale of the story. If you get in shit, go all the way, or you don't go at all. So the same here. I don't know if Great Britain is going to go all the way because right now is in between, is half, like the little mouse. So, what do you mean future operations? What is that all about? What do you mean? Because it's not all. I mean, they have a little. I caught this one. They say future operations, military operations, I'm assuming, and not dancing operations or theater operations, future military operation. Now it says here at the bottom, the last sentence, it says that, and how we can coordinate other international partners and allies in helping the armed forces of Ukraine in the coming weeks. Okay, can coordinate and to help them in operations. Now, let's see. Maybe these guys are just below 86 IQ and they just put words over there, but I don't think so. I mean, I'm reading something else. Maybe I read too much into it, but it's trying to figure out, because these weasels are not telling you, yeah, we're gonna do this. No, they have to make it like this, pretend, the art of war, art of deceiving the opponent, the enemy. So, but nevertheless, that's the basis of basic teaching of by Sun Tzu. The art of war is the art of deceiving. So maybe this is what happens, but these guys say, oh, for further operations. We'll find out. We'll find out, obviously, if Great Britain will jump full in the thing, head on, head first, or just going to get out. Because I posted a video a minute ago regarding Zelensky saying that the operations might stop the war by the end of the year, and maybe they will negotiate with the Russians. And then again, winter is coming, the Europeans will start freezing and so on. The inflation keeps going up, so things are not going better. They're going worse. So when, as I said, September, October, I predict that things will be just, okay, let's make peace, whatever is here right now. They will start talking like clearly about it. Now they just prepare us, get us ready. Zelensky said today about that like a, or maybe tomorrow, in the meantime, he's going to be slapped by his handlers and say, what the did you say? Go back and, retract that. He's going to say, oh, my bad. I didn't mean that. Or maybe he's going to send a weasel to come up with there and say, actually, he didn't mean that. He meant this. What I mean, that contradicts what he said yesterday. Why, do you think I'm an idiot? I don't remember that? Yes, that's exactly what I think, that we're idiots. But we're not. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.